dream. I was flying high, I was feeling fine. I won't be put in line, 'cause I'm ready to do my time.
Simply Financial with Christopher Calandra, Certified Financial Planner, is an innovative, comprehensive, informative, and cutting-edge podcast that discusses financial topics ranging from personal finance, economics, politics, and personal growth. Simply Financial will cover intriguing and thought-provoking questions so that the listener can simply increase their financial IQ.
This is the Simply Financial podcast. I'm your host, Christopher Calandra. Thanks for joining me today. We are in Season 3. This is episode number 24. Wanted to talk today about RMD Choices. RMD stands for Required Minimum Distribution. So just to set the stage, make sure we're all on the same page, the Required Minimum Distribution, or RMD, is a provision whereby the IRS makes you take money out of your IRAs once you get to the age of 70 and a half. So if you have an IRA, you get to 70 and a half, the IRS has a formula that determines how much you have to take out of your retirement accounts. The primary purpose of the RMD process is because the IRS wants to collect tax revenue. So the thing about this is, I saw some research on this recently, is that there are 58 million baby boomers that will reach 70 and a half over the next 20 years. And the first baby boomers turned 70 and a half just a few years ago in 2016. Additionally, BNY Mellon, one of the largest financial service companies in the world, projects that $10 trillion will be subject to RMDs. So this is a very, very important money topic, especially for retirees as they close in on and get to the age of 70 and a half. So one of the big topics of discussion that we have at Elliott Wealth Management Services with our clients is how to deal with the RMDs. Clients want to be tax efficient, and so it's an important discussion and planning topic. So what I wanted to discuss today is basically 5 uses of the RMD monies, things that you can do with the RMD money that you're required to take out each year. So number 1 is obvious. You could take the money and spend it. And a lot of our clients are living fulfilling retirement lives, and they want to take this RMD money out, and they will use it in their budget to enjoy their life, whether it's going to be specifically earmarked for something like travel or a new car or a home improvement project, or it'll just go into their budget and they'll use and spend as they see fit. So that's the most common thing, very basic. Number 1, take the money to spend it. Number 2 is to take the money out and give it to family. Many of our clients are blessed in that they may not need to or want to take the money and spend it, like we just spoke about, but rather they'll use this found money, if you will, and they want to give it to family. Or it could be friends. But I want to be specific here, not to charity, because I'm going to talk about charity in a moment. So they might want to give money to family. A common example of that would be gifting to grandchildren to help them attend college or private school. Sometimes they'll take that money and put it into a college fund, like a 529 plan for their grandchildren. But number 2 is you could take the money out and give it to family in some way, shape, or form. Number 3 is charitable giving. I talked at length about this on a previous episode, that being Season 2, episode number 43, which was titled Charitable Giving from an IRA. But there's a neat provision where if you give money from your IRA and you give it directly to one or more charities, there's no taxes due. It's the only way to get past the taxes due on an RMD is if you give the money to charity. It's called a qualified charitable distribution. And an increasing number of our clients at Elliott Wealth Management Services are beginning to use this feature. So it's nice planning. Of course, you need to have charitable intentions, and not everyone does. But if you do, and you have to take your RMD, it's a very efficient way to get money out of your IRA, avoid taxes, essentially getting the IRS to subsidize your charitable giving and get money to the charity. The only thing that gets avoided in that is the taxes, and clients are very happy when they could avoid taxes while playing within the rules. So qualified charitable distribution, giving money to charity from your IRA, is option number 3. It's also the only way that you could avoid paying taxes on that required minimum distribution. So that moves us to number 4. A lot of our clients will choose to reinvest the RMD into the portfolio. Now, in most instances, unless the 70-and-a-half-year-old is still working, that means they'll reinvest the portfolio into a non-IRA. So that could be a brokerage account, could be an annuity, a mutual fund, whatever the case is. But they'll say to us, listen, I know I have to take the RMD out, but I want to keep it in the portfolio. I want to reinvest it, and I will use the money later on. So they'll reinvest the money in the portfolio. Number 5 is use the money for other priorities. And this is a little bit more advanced planning. It's something that we spend a lot of time talking to our clients about and exploring how we can make this work. But use for other priorities. 2 good examples I'll give. If a client doesn't expect to spend all of their IRA money because they are anticipating, if everything goes according to their plan, that they'll be able to leave that money to the next generation or to their heirs, and even that could be a charity, is they can take the RMD out and possibly go and acquire a life insurance policy and use the RMD money to pay the premium on the life insurance policy, and that would give a leveraging up of the estate, because when you pay a premium, you get life insurance benefits that are above and beyond the cost of the premium. And for individuals that don't expect they're going to need their IRA money, and they do not expect that they're going to use or need their RMD proceeds, they may opt to fund a priority, which might be to leverage up their estate so that when they pass on, there's that much more money to leave to their heirs. And life insurance is a neat feature. Now, you have to qualify for life insurance, and not all 70-and-a-half-year-olds and older are eligible to get life insurance. But we've used that in a number of instances very successfully to carry out the goals and objectives of our clients. The second example I'll give where we use the RMDs to fund other priorities is to secure long-term care protection. It's another insurance play, but for many people, the biggest risk to scrambling their nest egg is if they have significant long-term care costs. And for a husband and wife who each get to 70-and-a-half, it's a notable risk. And there are a number of ways you could secure long-term care protection. There is pure long-term care insurance protections that are going to look and feel a lot like your car insurance or homeowner's insurance. What's also developed over these last couple of years are hybrid long-term care solutions whereby you pay a premium. It could be an ongoing premium. It could be a single premium, but you get long-term care protection so that if you need care, the policy would provide coverage. But the premium that you pay will do double duty and perhaps provide a long-term care benefit or a return of premium where you could get your money back if you canceled the policy. But for a number of our clients, long-term care protection is a key part of what they want to accomplish in their plan, and using the RMD to fund that priority is often a good use of that money. So just to review, 5 categories. You have to take the RMD, you're forced into it. What can you do with the money? You could take the money and spend it. That's number 1. Number 2, you could give the money to family, possibly in a college fund like a 529 plan for grandchildren. Number 3, you could give it to charity and take advantage of the qualified charitable distribution provision. It's the only way to get the RMD money out, comply with the IRS rules, and avoid the taxes on it. Number 4, you could reinvest the money in the portfolio so that you can use it later. And then number 5 is use that RMD money to fund other priorities, like increasing the size of your estate so that you could pass more money on to your heirs at your death, and or secure long-term care protection using one or more strategies that are available in the marketplace today. So the RMD topic is interesting because what I found over my 26-year career in working with individuals is that people hate the RMD process. And there was a recent study I saw that said that for high net worth individuals, I'm not sure of how they judged high net worth individuals, but high net worth individuals have a very negative opinion of RMDs. And I think the study literally said that 83% of high net worth individuals hate the RMD process. So it's something that's mandated. It's something that people don't like, but it does provide good planning opportunities. So what we want to do as our clients approach 70 and a half and even beyond 70 and a half to work with them on a planning level to make sure that we have a good plan for the money and that plan matches up with their individual goals and objectives. And of course, like lots of planning, what they may want at 71 might be different than what they'll want and or need at 81, but that's why working with a financial professional like me, like the rest of the team here at Elliott Wealth Management, can be so beneficial. One thing I'll point out is that there are a number of bills making their way through Congress that may change the 70 and a half RMD rules. I'm not sure if this will happen, and it could be slight changes, it could be more significant changes. I think the most likely change, in my opinion, I was at a conference, an educational conference through the Academy of Preferred Financial Advisors a few weeks ago, and we had a prominent national renowned CPA speak to us, and his opinion, and I share his thoughts on this, is that the most likely thing is something called the Secure Act, which is making its way through Congress, like I said, and that would increase the RMD age from 70 and a half to 72. So that's not there yet. It may not happen, but it's something that we are watching very closely because it would change things possibly significantly. And just takeaway, action points. As you approach 70 and a half, or if you're already 70 and a half and beyond, you want to have a plan on what you do with RMDs. You want to be aware of tax efficiency. We also would recommend that you automate your RMDs. If you do not comply with the RMD rules, and let's say you do not take out your RMD for 1 or more years, the potential penalty is 50% of what you fail to take out. So let's say your RMD is $20,000 and you fail to do it and the IRS nails you on that, the penalty would be $10,000. That is very harsh, something that we really want to avoid. And automating your RMD processing is very helpful, making sure that you're not in that boat. So with our clients, we say, hey, on December 1st or July 1st or February 1st, whatever, we have a particular day. Could be once a year, could be monthly, could be quarterly, but the RMD is automatically processed. So we greatly reduce the chances that our clients don't comply with the RMD rule and greatly reduce the chances that they're confronted with a 50% penalty. So the two takeaways are have a plan and to automate your RMDs. Thanks for joining me. I have mentioned Elliott Wealth Management a couple of times during this discussion, but that's the financial services practice that I run. I have a great team. Please go to our website, www.elliottwealth.com. You could find